Welcome to Founders Future, a podcast powered by closersio, where we dive into the journeys of innovative entrepreneurs and explore the road ahead for them and their companies. I'm your host, Ammar Elm, and in each episode, we uncover the stories behind impactful ventures, the challenges faced along the way, and the strategies driving their future growth. Today, we are absolutely thrilled to be joined by Luna Battalia, founder of Luna Love Leadership, a transformational coach, creative director, and spiritual mentor guiding visionary women and founders to lead with devotion, create legacy brands, and generate impact rooted in soul-aligned values. Luna's approach blends strategic clarity, creativity, and deep personal evolution so clients can thrive both in business and in life. Luna, welcome to Founders Future.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm excited to dive in. I always like to start from the beginning. So
Cool.
take me back to before you started Luna Love Leadership, what you were doing before, and then what motivated you to start the agency.
I'll pause you for a moment. Our agency is actually called Caru Creative,
Okay.
Caru. And so the website, the URL is Luna Love Leadership. And so it's a little confusing, but yeah, happy to talk about the whole journey. And
Yeah.
there have been so many things that I've done before, but it's been an evolution of kind of a core seed. And I started design work when I was young. I had a fashion company when I was in high school, making things out of my bedroom and selling to local boutiques, wholesale, and just having no model and just learning how to do that on my own very young. And then went to design school. And so I had all these skills around design and marketing. And then I had my own journey of life and evolution and spiritual awakenings and being in this fashion world and not feeling nourished and fulfilled and kind of life taking me in a different direction. And that led to a lot of spiritual journeys and explorations and finding myself through all of that. And little by little, it led me to a master's program. And in that master's program, we did this thing called trios, where there was a client, a facilitator, and a neutral observer. And we did so many of those. And I just had a knack for facilitation. I had worked at a addiction rehab, non-12-step holistic addiction rehab center for a few years. And I just had a knack for this. And my classmates, we were doing these kind of, we were learning about psychology and learning these different approaches that are more client-centric and personal versus like Freudian psychology. And my classmates were like, I've been in therapy for 15 years and I've never had, I just felt like I got more in the last 15 minutes with you than I have in 15 years of therapy. Do you
Wow.
do this? Do you have packages? And so I didn't even know what coaching packages were.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden I was like, yeah, sure, we can do that. And the people around me kept asking for it and were asking for these kind of containers. And so it just naturally happened. And from graduating from that program, I put together an online coaching business. And it was really successful for many years. And I had done that for quite a while. And 2020 happened. And I was like emotionally spent, like a compassion fatigue from holding space for so many people. I had worked in the incarcerated community with people in prison and in addiction care, and then my private practice. And people just weren't paying what they were used to be paying during COVID. People were very nervous about what was happening. And so I was used to getting paid for coaching services, and then that wasn't happening. And so I pivoted because I know that adaptability is our saving grace. And so I pivoted, and I had all these people around me who had skills and gifts that they wanted to bring online because the world was shut down and online was the place to bring them. And I had an online business. I had been helping entrepreneurs. I had grown and scaled my own business substantially in this time. And so I put out an offer for messaging support, branding, business strategy, web design. And I had been doing this stuff behind the scenes and for myself for many years. And it just blew up. And so in 2020, when people were losing their income, my income tripled.
Wow.
And so it just pivoted to this trifecta of messaging, strategy, and visuals, like building a brand world.
Mm,
And over the last 5 years, that's just grown in these exponential ways, helping hundreds, if not thousands, of leaders with low cost digital products to help them do their branding themselves, and then custom high end one-on-one design and branding and strategy services. And so it was me, and then I built a team and have an agency and kind of lead the client interactions. And it's been amazing to see what happens when you just, I personally didn't have an agenda in any of these things. It just was following the call and trusting where I was being asked to show up, and then the miracles that kind of follow when
yeah,
you're in alignment with your path.
yeah, powerful. I love that. I'm very curious. Do you ever see yourself going back to what you used to do in 2020?
I I very well could. I don't know.
Yeah.
It has come up, and I think that what happened for me is like I knew a particular format of marketing,
Mm,
and I replicated it, and then that was no longer working. So it really doesn't matter what the arena is or what the thing is. It's really about what is the business strategy in which I'm making my income? And is that nourishing to me? Because I'm not just the one providing the services, I'm also running the business, as all these founders and entrepreneurs probably listening know. And you've talked about on your podcast many times, you're not just wearing one hat of I do X. It's yeah, and you're managing and
yeah,
scaling and growing and having to, even if you're not doing all the roles, you need to understand
how they
what,
function.
yeah, and what's entailed so that you can hire the best person for it.
For sure. Yeah,
And so I think it's like I could really do anything. I could open a florist tomorrow, a brick and mortar, and I could be successful, but it's really about what are the marketing strategies and are they nourishing my system? Are they allowing me to, like, you can make money in a lot of ways, but is it stressful? Is it spacious? Does it allow you to have other goals and family time and a relaxed nervous system? And so those are the kinds of things that I think of and help clients with oftentimes, because it's actually not hard to make money, but is it congruent to the life that you really want?
for
So
sure.
lots of people can make money, but they're stressed, they're overwhelmed, they're maybe out of integrity with their values in some way. And so that's the kind of thing that I'm like, can we have all of that in one
Yeah,
package?
yeah, I like that. Walk me through with your agency today. Who is the ideal customer? Who do you target? What does that look like? Walk me through that.
We have two, because we have two services that are drastically different price points. Our high-end customers, they're CEOs with depth. They've been doing this for a while, or if they're starting out with a new business, they've had success either in corporate or previous business before, and they're being called to a new arena or niche or way of serving, and they know that they want the foundation really solid before they do that. They're not dabbling, they've had a lot of success, and they want to really replicate that success. And so that person is, they're building a business based on values. They're not just there to exchange goods and services. Like my client is not the one who are like drop shipping vape pens on Amazon to make money. Like you can make a lot of money that way. That's great. Bravo. Love that for you. That's not my people. My people are like deeply caring. They want to contribute to the world. They feel this deep call to make a positive impact and
Yeah,
help people. They're service-based people, but they also have personal brands. Their
yeah,
brand is often centering them, their beliefs, their values, them, their position on whatever topic it is. And often because they're change makers, they have this somewhat polarizing view that's there to disrupt the status quo or the way of thinking, and that can be really confronting for people. So messaging is like foundation for all of it. So what I've done is I've taken all of the one-on-one custom design and messaging and strategy work that I've been doing for a very long time and distilled that process into low-cost digital products that people can take
yeah,
and do on their own and replicate the process without me, which is the me part is what costs a lot.
yeah.
I want them to have the system and the strategy, but my approach is really about finding it It's not about a template that you can just insert everything and replicate it. And if you just do this, you're going to be successful. I don't believe that. My whole thing is really finding what works for each person. So all these, even these low cost digital products for messaging and strategy and web design and like how to organize everything in a way that converts is really about not just getting the conversion, but doing it in a way that is aligned with your values, not just replicating what Mrs. Big Bucks in your field is doing and thinking, oh, if I just do that, it'll work for me too. But really having a relationship with their business. And so my
Mm.
people have depth. They're not looking for just quick cash. They're looking for meaning making. They're often women who are providing for their families, contributing to their household income, and their work is not just their work in the world, it's reliance on the care of their community and families. And so they want to do it right because they want time to have with their families.
Yeah, I like that. A lot of the listeners of this podcast are selling some sort of high-end service and they deliver it online. When it comes to your lead generation, when it comes to your client acquisition, how do you bring on new clients to the high-end services that you provide?
I have built an attraction-based brand, and that's something that I help other people do. And so my branding, my brand presence, messaging does all the front end work for me. My business is because of these services are very because I help other entrepreneurs. So whether I'm building a brand, building a website, helping people with their messaging, all those people are now marketing for me. My name's on their website, they're sharing. And so my high-end services have really just filled one-on-one. I do zero marketing. There's zero
Wow.
strategy involved except for being consistent with brand presence and core messaging. And so I never get on the phone for a sales call or discovery call without that person already knowing they want to work with me. My messaging does all that work for me. The application, the questions that I'm asking, all of that's messaging, and that is doing all the work for me so that by the time I'm there, the person's just, okay, so what's the structure of this? What's the
Mm.
timeline? Everything's really clear
Logistics.
because I don't want to waste my time on the phone with people who are not the right fit. So all of everything that I put out there is really doing that for me, weeding out the right people and the wrong people, the people who can't afford it. Like I'm doing or aren't a good energetic fit. Like we're not gonna flow in our work together. It's not gonna be fun for either of us. Like my work, my branding and my messaging is weeding all of that out. And a ton of the clients I have now just came from them seeing somebody else's branding or page
Yeah.
or them sharing, wow, I'm in this container with Luna and Caru, and it's I wish I did this 10 years ago. And they're just like, oh, okay, great. I don't have to do that. I'm not really educating. I'm creating content that's either leading to quick conversions or just getting people to hang out in my brand world and
Mm.
creating an experience. So it's really about creating an experience for people that they feel like, ah, I want to hang out here. Like a VR
Yeah,
set, you put
yeah,
it on and you're like, I want to
yeah.
hang out in this virtual reality. It's like when you
Sure.
build a brand, you're building a world, a reality that you're inviting people into. And then what is the experience you're giving them? So I feel
100%.
like that kind of does all of it for me, at least on the high end. The like lower ticket has a lot more nuts and bolts and marketing
For
strategy.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, 100%. I like that. Yeah, and I think that's so key for people to have. I talk to so many people that don't have the pre-qualification in place, like the application, like sending a pre-call nurture sequences,
Mhm.
sales enablement, where you're already getting them into a buying position where they already know trust you before they hop on a call. So they're not completely cold. And yeah, especially if they're like referrals or word of mouth or something like that. I imagine those are go for it.
I'm also really transparent about my pricing. Like I'm not hiding anything from anyone. It's on the
Is it just
pages. You can
on
see it. Like
how
we're
much
not
is
getting an every service. So there's 4 or 5 kind of services that people either a la carte or bundle, and they start at 4,500 and they go to upwards of 6. But if you're putting 2 or 3 of them together, that's a $17,000 package or $25,000 package. Even if it's just one thing, often when they do that one okay, I just want to start with this one messaging session, then they do that and they're like, oh, now I can see how valuable it's going to be to do business strategy with you. Let's add that on. And so they Lego in that way, like building blocks, and all of that's transparent. And it's industry standards, they're average, they're transparent. It might be higher end than like this other person who just started. I love putting colors and fonts together and I can do branding for you. It's like I have a ton of experience that's much more holistic. And so, you're getting what you're paying for. So people aren't coming with, oh, now I'm just getting the price on the call with you. And now I have to sit with that. And now I'm not sure. And now I need to talk to this person and see. It's like they already know up front. I think that's something I really value. I hate getting the runaround. I'm like, oh, I'm interested in this program. I just want to know what it costs before I even get on the phone with this person. Why isn't this information available? Because you think I think a lot of people think that they're going to get turned away. People aren't going to fill out the application, get on the call if they know how much it is. And that's great because the people who aren't your clients, they're behaving in those ways. But the people who are your clients are ready to, great, this is how much it costs, I'm ready. And that's the people I want, because then our work together is going to reflect that process and be easy and move forward quickly.
For sure. Do you have a sales team?
I don't. I have in the past when I'm doing much more launch based where I need more people, because most people are bundling and I'm working with them for a few months. I don't need that many clients to make the money that I want to make. And then my low cost is like covering everything else. And so there's it's all, the one-on-one's kind of like bonus cash.
Yeah, the
So I
reason
get to decide how many clients to take. And
for sure.
yeah.
The reason that I ask is because I have mixed feelings about putting prices on websites, especially if they're high ticket. I honestly don't think it's best for everybody.
No, it's not best for everyone.
Yeah, 1000%. And that's why I asked, do you have a sales team? Because it's okay. If you are in a position where I truly just want to pick and choose everybody, then 1000% be super picky and add as much friction to the funnel as possible. Because I know for certain, like we've worked with thousands of different coaches and consultants and agencies at this point. The majority of people, it's best for them not to have that. And I know from a personal perspective, there are coaching programs that I've invested in where if I knew the price before the call, no chance I would have hopped onto the call. That's just my thoughts on it. But it's nice to be in a position where you can do that.
Mm.
And you're just like, you know what? I just want the people who are ready to go and
Yeah.
basically hop on the call. And it's just logistics that we're dealing with.
Yeah, and I think it depends how much you're interfacing with that person. So whatever the program is that they're entering, how much one-on-one interface do I have with this person? Because if I'm spending a lot of calls and time and Zooms and conversations with them and we're dialoguing to get to the next phase, I want someone who is a very particular archetype who's not going to be difficult. So let me get all of that out of the way up front. And so I think it depends on if it's a group program, how much interfacing you have. There have been times where I launched higher ticket group programs where it was like an abstract number. So like mid 5-figure investment kind of thing.
So what is that, 50K? Is that not?
It's abstract. It could be 15, it could be 60, but I want to get someone in the sense like, okay, even if it's 15 or 60, like I'm still going to fill out the application because I don't want someone who thinks that it's some cheap thing and they're applying and then and if you have a sales team, that's great. If you have a good sales team, there's a guy, his name is escaping me, phenomenal sales team. He wrote a book. The book is very popular. The book leads to this. You get on a call with the sales team. It's a 5-month program. It's $5,000. It's just, and the sales team is amazing. And they're just filling them rolling enrollments. You just constant enrollment. And so that's like a model that I've helped other clients build because that's what's good for them. So I think for each person, I'm not trying to say, oh, this is the way you should do it. It's what's going to work for your offer, what's going to work for your audience, what's going to work for your values, nervous system, time that you want to spend in this, what needs to be hired out. And so customizing a strategy that's going to work for each person's.
Yeah, I completely agree. It's very, very case by case basis. Like I knew this one guy, he had a 50K program teaching people how to get into private equity,
Mm,
something along the lines of investment banking. And he ran ads towards it. And when we were putting together the application, one of the application questions was, this requires a minimum of 20K investment. Is that something that you have
hmm.
access to? And then, yes, I have access to it. No, but I have credit. And then, no, I will leave this page immediately, kind of thing. So, yeah, it really depends. But I am curious for you, what does the future look like? If you were to project yourself 12, 24 months into the future, and you were to paint me the picture of what goals you've accomplished, where you're at, like, what does that look like for you?
The older I get, the less personal agenda I try to use to direct my life.
Mm.
Probably not the answer you want to, but I,
Hey, there's no correct answer. There's no.
yeah, yeah, I think if it all fell apart tomorrow, I just know that I'd be okay. And if life has a different direction, and I don't have a lot of that in my mind the way I did when I was building my business in my 20s. And yeah, I think over the last 15 years, I've grown, I've scaled, and then I've done this a lot where I've grown and scaled and had huge teams and made a lot of money and then really pulled back
Mm,
to just high-end services, very little systems, very little business expenses. And then
mhm.
I'll grow and scale again and I'll be like, oh, let's try this. And it's all like a fun experiment
Yeah,
that I'm not so attached to, and really shifted out of launch-based
yeah,
marketing because that doesn't really work for my system and desires. And
yep.
I don't know. I don't know what the future holds. I actually am like, oh, I'm thinking about taking an online interior design course. And like my partner's business is like architecture and design and building. And like maybe I just kind of add on a service to his clients. And I'm like building online temples, building websites, what I call now. It's like, what if I was doing that in the physical realm? Like, I'm not in that place of
Mm,
I need to scale it to because I've done that so many times where I'm like, cool, I have the capacity to have a goal, have something in my mind and make it happen. And right now I'm just in the maintenance and unknown of it and just letting it reveal itself. And that
mm.
feels like what I need right now.
That's beautiful. I love that. That's a great spot to be in.
Yeah.
What is the best way for people to reach out to you to work with you?
Check out my website or Instagram is where I usually hang out. Luna Battalia on Instagram, lunaloveleadership.com. There's shop for DIY. If you're looking to take the strategy that I have around messaging and branding and web design and business strategy, there's like products that help you walk through it yourself. The main one of that is called magnetic messaging. It's like the foundation for everything I do with my clients. And yeah, and then if you're like, I'm not a DIY person, want to pay someone to do it for you, that's what we do. All that's on the site, and be happy to connect with anyone that feels like they're curious about it.
Awesome. Luna, thank you so much for your time.
Yeah, my pleasure. Nice to chat with you today.
You as well. So that wraps up another inspiring episode of Founders Future. To our listeners, if you enjoyed this episode, make sure to reach out to lunaloveleadership.com, lunaloveleadership.com, and then Luna Battalia on Instagram as well. And if you are a business owner, specifically a coach, consultant, or agency owner, and you're really looking to scale your business and you want to enhance your sales and marketing efforts, visit closersio to hop on a call with our team and discover how we were able to go from zero to $30 million per year in less than 3 years. Until then, keep on climbing.